Hey there, girly pop. It's Aries season, and we have so many planets moving direct. It is time to lock in. Hello, and welcome back to the Cozy Babes Club. I'm your host, Chloe Taylor, and today we are talking all things locking in for I want to say summer, but we're locking in during spring for summer. So it's the spring lock in, okay? It's finally time. It's finally time. Everybody at the top of the year in January was like, lock in, lock in. No, my friends. No, my friend. If you have not spoken to a professional astrologer, maybe you don't know. But Capricorn season isn't really lock in season in January because Capricorn is about goals. This is why like New Year's resolutions make sense for Capricorn season, but it's not really the time to like get this forward momentum and drive. That is right now. In Aries season, especially as we have so many planets this month moving direct. So we just had Mercury finally go direct. Venus is going direct this month. I want to say there are a few others that are notable as well that if you want to know like the full breakdown, join my Patreon, patreon.com/Kloee Taylor, because every single month I give you an astrology report there. If you want to know the ins and the outs, what it means for your sign, all of that. But I feel like for locking in for spring, I first want to do a little bit of a catch up and a little bit of a like summertime vision, what we are thinking for the season. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I feel like this episode, in like planning for it, getting it together, deciding what I wanted to talk about, this is like a real lived experience, okay? I am talking about this because I myself am locking in for summer. And I need to say this because I don't know if everybody else collectively felt it, but last week was weird. Like, I spent so much time being a bed rotting bum, and it was a weird change of pace for what I've been doing for the month prior. So last week was weird. We had a little time out. We had a little bed rotting. I don't want to say that I was crashing out, but I definitely was not spending my time the way I would prefer to spend it. So this week I was like, Chloe, we need like a proper lock in. We need a proper, this is the plan, this is what we're doing, this is the vision for the next season. Because in order to have the summer crops, you have to be like planting in the spring, right? So this is why it's lock-in season, not only just astrologically, but in order to be and do and have what you want this summer, you have to be thinking about it now. And that kind of goes for every season of life. If I'm honest, like even to slow down in the winter, we have to prepare appropriately for that. But I feel like for summer, I'm not necessarily on that trend of like, I got to get my body ready for summer. Yes, there is a ton of health stuff I'm going to talk about in this episode, but I also feel like getting your body ready for summer is kind of a toxic cycle that we need to do away with as a society. And ultimately, we should just be having typical health regimens that take care of us for our entire lives. And I just wanted to say that in the beginning because we are going to talk about a lot of health goals and what I'm doing moving forward. But this is not I'm getting my body ready for summer, because that's just not, I don't live there. That was me in my 20s. Me in my 30s is a lot more mature, and I take better care of myself, period. Like as a general sense, like I take care of myself. So that's really, I feel like what this lock-in is it's giving ourselves the loving discipline that we need to move forward and to have the ideal vision of what we see the next season. Let me paint the picture for you, okay? My summer 2025 is, I really want to exist in more dresses. That's why I decided to wear a dress today. This is probably one of my favorite dresses if you're watching the video. This is one of my favorite dresses in my wardrobe. I've had it for years. You've probably seen it before. It just makes me feel very like peak summer sensuality. And I was like, I know it's not summer yet, but we can show off a little bit for the podcast. We can show up for the podcast. But I feel like I really want like dresses. I want to give my balcony a makeover, which I will be vlogging that when I do it on my Patreon. I want to do lots of mocktails. I want to have a summer reading list of some fiction books we want to get into. I see myself doing like outdoor things because I live in the Pacific Northwest, and that means that summer typically is beautiful here. We have like summer is one of the best seasons to visit here because yes, we get heat waves, but they are far and few between most of the time. The weather is pretty temperate and the days here are so long. Like the sun sets at like 11 p.m. in the summer. It's crazy. And the days are long and it's like beautiful and everything is green. And yeah, summer here is the vibe. So I want like as much time as I can have outdoors, lots of dresses. I want mocktails. I want balcony time. I want to grill a bunch of my meals. I want to do all the outdoorsy things. And I feel like to get to that place of feeling good in my own skin, I need to start locking in and taking care of myself now. It's also getting on my health grind in general. And also, I want to do like little overnight trips with my husband in the summer because we've lived in Washington now for about 4 years. Very little of the state have we actually seen, and most of that is due to finances and struggling to make it work here. But I actually feel like my husband and I have just like, I don't want to speak too much on this because I want to save it for another episode, but just in general, I feel like financially, he and I have really come together over the last like 3 or 4 months consistently. We have designed plans on saving. We also have started like divvying up money differently than we have for the last like 15 years. And it's really been working. So I don't feel like I'm totally out of the woods. Don't get me wrong. I think that like the financial struggle is still real, but I feel like, oh my gosh, we might actually have like gas money to go and do something. When the summer comes, we might be able to actually like do a little bit of exploring. We are saving for like a bigger trip this year as well to go somewhere else, which you'll hear about in the future. But I really see that for us doing maybe like 1 or 2 overnight trips somewhere. And then I also see my summer like tomatoes, girl. Forget about Italian girl summer. It's tomato girl summer. Okay, this year. We'll talk about that more when summer comes, but like that's the vision I'm seeing. Okay. Fresh tomatoes, dresses, grilling, little overnight trips around the state that I live in. Just really capitalizing on that outdoor time and a lot of like freshness, fresh recipes. And to get that vision of what I see for myself, I got to start working on it now. The first part of this for you is a little bit of homework, is that I want you to envision what you want your summer to look like this year. What do you hope is going to happen? And it's not even like, what do you hope is just going to happen? What can you actually do to get there is what we're going to get to. But like, what if the best could happen for you this summer? What would be the best that could happen? So for me, like I said, I'm going to do like a vision board because that's what I like doing. You could do like scripting or voice noting or journaling sessions, or you and a friend could get together and build collages. I think that would be so fun. But for summer, I really see that vision, right? Of the dresses, farmers markets, mocktails, outdoor time. So I want to invite you to think about your own vision and actually set aside some time this week if you can, whether it's doing any of those things that I suggested. What do you want your summer to look like this year? What do you hope to have? I would say pick between like 3 to 5 things that you're really excited about. And it could also be like doing hobbies and stuff too. Like this summer, I know that I want to complete all the Lego sets, or by summer rather, right now, I want to complete all the Lego sets that I have in my house so that I can start seeing what I have and actually expanding my collection. I talked about this in my last episode, but like, what do you want to have had done by then? Really see it. And don't be afraid. I don't want to say don't do pie in the sky goals because I think sometimes those are awesome. Like you should be connected to that vision, but also we have one season until summer. Like, don't go so crazy. And I think I'm saying this not to dissuade you, okay? I'm a Sagittarius rising. I believe in the big pie in the sky. I have high optimism. I think it's how I've made it as far as I have in my lifetime. But I do think that sometimes we can get really carried away in the like, I want this, this, and this, and it's going to happen in 3 months. And like, I'm sorry, if you want to work on your body and your health and you want some goal, there are some things that you could achieve in 3 months. For myself, I'm not going to lose 83 pounds in in 3 months or even 6 months. Like that's not realistic. And I wouldn't want to lose weight that quickly, personally. I feel like that is a dangerous game that you play with your health when you do that. So that's why I'm saying that if you have like body goals or something, don't be trying to do everything in one season. That is the difference between being in your 20s and being in your 30s. Is I feel like 20-year-old me, I was like, give me all the skinny teas, give me all of the terrible diets, let me crash out. I don't care what it takes. No, we are going for something consistent this time around. So that's what I mean when I say, like, have pie in the sky goals, but don't feel like you're going to crush every single thing by summer. Even if you lock in, you're going to make extremely good progress. But no, that's what I mean. Like, just don't be playing with yourself like that. Now, to me, this is the fun part. Okay. Maybe it's because I have Virgo in my 10th house that I think this shit is so fun. And my sun and my moon are in the 6th house of Virgo. Like, maybe that's why I find like making the plan to be the best thing. But now you're going to devise the actual plan. And like, I would say right now, because it's lock in season, and we have all of this really good energy to work with, I honestly would take on more if I were you. I normally I'm someone that's like, no, 3 to 5 things is enough. Girl, I'm coming for like 8 goals. Okay. I am doing the most. Some of them are easier than others for me, but you have to devise a plan to decide what it is that you're going after first, and then decide what are the steps that you're going to take to get there. So for myself, I mentioned so many things, and here's kind of my like list. If you want to take any of these, feel free. These are the things that I came up with that I'm going to be working on mostly on the daily. There's a few things that won't be daily, but first and foremost, movement. Okay. Y'all know, and I've said it for years, I feel like, that especially when I was living out in the sticks and my gym was really far away from me, like 6 months ago, it was really hard for me to get a workout in when I had to drive 45 minutes to go to the gym. Now I live 2 minutes from my gym. I could walk there if I wanted to. It would be a little bit of a stretch, but I could do it. And I feel like I make every excuse in the book not to go. And one of my biggest pushes right now, that's why I'm telling you at the top of my list, is I have always said, oh, when I'm closer to my gym, I'm going to go 5 days a week. I'm going to go Monday through Friday. Guess what? I have lived here for over 6 months now. I have gone Monday through Friday not one time. And I was like, it's lock in season. This is like, if I did this one goal, it would make a direct, dramatic improvement to my health. And so this week I'm locking in. Okay. I would encourage you to do the same. It doesn't matter if you're going to a gym, if you have like Pilates classes you're going to, whatever it is that you are invested in. Y'all already know I'm going to tell you to go to water aerobics because that's what I do. I have looked up the entire water aerobic schedule for my gym, and I have penciled in Monday through Friday workout classes on my calendar because I also know that we are 70% more likely to succeed at the goals that we put our push towards, or that we are fantasizing about achieving. You are 70% more likely to achieve them if you write them down. And we know this. This is like scientifically proven. So write them down. Make it a priority on your schedule and just do it. When the time comes, do the damn thing. So this next week, I have Monday through Friday. I also enlisted 2 of my closest friends to hold me accountable. I said, hey, this next week, I have put myself in for Monday through Friday classes. I'm doing early morning classes. Hold me accountable. If you see, because we're all connected on like Apple Watch and shit, if you see my little Apple Watch ding, like say something back to me. Hold me accountable for those workouts, because it's hard out here in these streets doing everything by yourself. But movement to me is my number one between spring and summer. If I went to the gym 5 days a week, every single week until summer, I just know that it's not even about like the weight loss. It's that I know I would feel good, and I am in the business of feeling good. So the next thing, of course, that goes hand in hand for me is going to be my nutrition. So nutrition, I, I feel like I know what to do, and I always say this, but for some reason I feel like I still struggle with it. But I think it's because I tend to like swing the pendulum too far in one direction or too far in the other direction. Like, I feel like in order to have balance, I actually have to behave like somebody that has balance. So I'm trying to go back to 80-20, which is 80% of the time you're eating the rainbow. Okay. We're getting good quality, high protein. We're eating the rainbow. And 20% of the time we're having our little snackies. We're eating the things that give us joy. And I think something that I love doing, if I could just put this in your mind, I don't know why I stopped doing this because I think it works so well. But at the top of every week, so like on a Sunday, okay, picture this all spring, you make a little dessert, whatever it is that you want to make. If you want to make a cheesecake, cookies, I just made a cherry dump cake, which sounds awful, but it was mid, it was whatever. I was just trying something new. But you make a dessert at the beginning of the week for your family, for you and your spouse, for you, just you know, maybe half it if it's just for you. And you have that dessert for the week. You can choose to eat the entire thing on Sunday if that's the vibe that you're on. But now you don't get dessert for the rest of the week until Sunday rolls around again. And I feel like this is something that, especially with PCOS and having like insulin resistance issues, and I will sugar crash if I eat too many like carbs or too much sugar. I get so tired and I will sugar crash really bad. So I know this about myself. I've studied my body long enough to know this about myself. But I feel like just having like, I think it's good to have that 20%, but either metering it out or just making it once a week instead of every other night. I'm like, oh my God, what's for dessert? Let's make more. Let's go make this. Let's go to the bakery and buy this. I feel like it also saves me money too, doing it that way. So one time per week, I do make a little dessert for me and my husband. And whenever it's gone, it's gone. Like we're done. It's gone after that. I just feel like for me, that just, I don't know. I'm going to try it and let you know how it goes. Okay. Financial goals, because I told y'all that I do feel like the financial crash out for Kloee Taylor has been rough for the last like several years. And I said it in the last episode that I wanted to make more memories. I wanted to fill the picture frames in my house that are empty. And I want to spend time doing more, you know, and I do think a lot of that does require even just like a little bit of financial planning. So, for the financial aspect of things for my spring, I do feel like something that has really helped me, and I really do want to do a full blown marriage episode where I talk to you about this stuff in detail, but just for like the Cliff Notes, the Spark Notes rendition, something that has dramatically improved my relationship, not only with my spouse, but with my finances. Some of y'all are going to be like, Kloee, and I know money is like so convoluted and it's such a hot button topic. So I hesitate to even share. So please do not crucify me in the comments. But for the first time, my husband and I have been together for 17 years. We just had our 17-year anniversary last week. We have been together for 17 years. We have had a joint account for probably about 15 of those 17 years where we had no other accounts. And it was just our joint banking. Everything went into one account. All the bills came out of the same account. All of our money went into the same account. And ultimately, we made that decision at my insistence originally because my parents have a terrible relationship with money. Their marriage is always messy because of money. And I didn't want that in my life. And I knew that very early in my relationship. I told my husband, I will never fight with you about money. If we fight about money, we go to counseling. Like, I will not have what my parents have. They like, I don't even want to get into that because it's too much right now. I just knew that I didn't want that. That was the example I had. It was a terrible example. And I told my husband very early on, I don't want that. If we are going to be together, this is how it's going to be. And I am here to tell you that I was wrong. Something that we recently did within the last 6 months was we actually have our joint account, our joint savings account, and then we both have individual accounts now. And every pay period, we actually give ourselves an allotment of an allowance. and we can do whatever we want with that money. It is at no discretion to either person. We don't have to check in with the other person. There is no, you have to spend your money this way. There is no, I have to ask permission for something. And we also both have our own personal savings accounts now. And I just feel like this has been so good for me. So good. It has been so healthy for me to have my own savings account. And I don't know what it is about having a joint account that it's like easy to overdraft that account and not care. But when it's my own money and nobody else is going to bail me out of it, I am so much more careful about how I spend my own money. And I'm just putting it out there for anybody else that is in that same boat. Get your own account. Get your own account. If you feel like that's something that you struggle with, even if you're putting $20 a month into it for yourself, saving a fraction of it in your own savings account, you deserve to have your own money. And I feel like that's in general women. Women need their own money. I'm sorry that it's like this, but with the way that the world is and how the world is built for the patriarchy and not the matriarchy, women need their own money. And it's not because I'm trying to run away with a bunch of money and keep it from my spouse. It's that I feel like in this world, I know that it's not the way that it used to be. Like women can have their own credit cards now. We're still a far cry from where we need to be, but we can have our own credit cards. We can have our own accounts. We can have leases on our own homes. There's so much more that we are able to do now, thank goodness. But with the way the world be looking, women need their own money. So just putting it out there. If you're a woman, get your own account if you don't already have one. So that I feel like has really helped. But within that, for my own personal health, because a lot of my stuff, I feel like, the fresh eating, when I think of my summer and I see myself, it's a lot of freshness and it's a lot of health and vitality. So a lot of my goals for that are focused on that. I guess I should have said that earlier, but the ADHD be ADHDing. But with my financial goals, I really want to buy a walking pad, like really want to buy a walking pad for my apartment. I had one in my house that I actually donated and it wasn't the best. Honestly, I wouldn't say no to a treadmill. Like I want something that can fold up and store away in a corner really well, but it needs to have something I can hold on to when I walk. And I feel like because I love gaming, I feel like just gaming and walking, girl, I'm going to hit 10,000 steps every single day. No problem. I used to do it with this recumbent bike that I had as well. And that went like really well for me too. I do like an hour-long ride. I just feel like it makes it very effortless for me. And I really want to go back to not only working out 5 days a week, but I want to go back to like 8 to 10,000 steps a day. So with the financial goals though, that's what I mean. Like I want to buy a walking pad and I don't want to buy like a cheap $100 one. I want to buy something that's actually nice that will last me is kind of my plan with that. So, I feel like it fits under like the financial goals, financial planning aspect. So I also, and this is important, I'm just going to say it, go get your health checkups, go get your teeth cleaned, do all of the stuff that you've been putting off. For myself, I was uninsured for almost 2 years and I finally have insurance. All the kinks are finally worked out of it. They were having problems of like getting me connected for some reason, but I'm finally insured. I'm finally on paper somewhere and I need to be getting all the health checkups. So that's my pap smear, right? I need to do that. Need to see what's going on with my hormones. The hormones are not hormoning and I need to see what's going on there. Just getting a regular checkup. Some of y'all have clocked that in my past few episodes, you've been like, Kloee, you sound like you're getting sick. Girl, I have had post-nasal drip for over a year. I just hide it from you because I can edit videos and edit sounds to not have it in there. I got sick in January of 2024. I have had post-nasal drip ever since January of 2024. It has been over a year. I am finally insured. I'm going to go to a doctor and see what the hell is going on. I also feel like within this, I want to reward myself with like new workout sets once I have been consistent with my workout regimen. I want to get some new workout sets and I would love to hear what y'all's favorites are. I pretty much am a 2X in everything in America. I don't know how UK sizing works, but at this point in time, I am a 2 to a 1X in everything because I got really big boobies. Sometimes on my bottom half, I can get away with a 1X, sometimes an XL because I'm like, at my current weight, I am an apple-shaped girly, but when I'm a tiny mini, I'm an hourglass. But at my current weight, I'm very much apple-shaped in how I carry my weight. So it does make clothing shopping kind of hard, especially when you also have like H size breasts. I really want to buy myself some new workout clothes though, some matching sets. Like, the butter yellow that is trending right now. Butter yellow, I feel like it's like that blue color, what I would call like electric blue, lilac, and then pink. I just want like I want to get like 4 new workout sets all in those colors. I feel like I really like Fabletics. They have a lot of good stuff, but if you girly pops know of some good stuff and it comes in those sizes, please tell me in the comments. Let me know what's good. Let me know where you get your workout clothes from. Like, I prefer stuff that will last more than one season. And I'm okay spending a little bit more money if it means that I get to have them last longer. I've never shopped at Aloe or Lululemon because they don't carry my size that I'm aware of. That's why I tend to go like Fabletics or like Yitty, which is their sister company. And I feel like their stuff is pretty good. But yeah, that's something like I want to reward myself with. So, oh my gosh, I need to talk about this. Sleep boundaries, okay? Something that I've been doing that is for my lock-in season is I have been setting alarms on my phone because the ADHD is no longer controlling me, okay? I'm controlling it. And I've been setting more alarms on my phone to remind me when to pivot in my day. So at 5 p.m. every single day, I have an alarm that goes off that reminds me to put work away because nobody needs to work after 5 p.m. unless you're a graveyard shift worker. Like, what are we doing? Okay. I feel like, especially for me, because I make my own schedule, it's very easy for me to start work at the top of my day and then work for 12 to 16 hours without thinking about it. And no more. I am, that overworking and hustle culture was for my 20s. It's not for my 30s. So at 5 p.m., I shut down every day. Unless I'm like finishing, like recording, I'll finish the recording and then I'll stop. But at 5 p.m. every day without fail, that's what we're doing. But not only that, in the evening, I've also started setting an alarm. This is new, but I've started setting an alarm for 11:45. Eventually, I will move that up to be earlier, but this is where I'm at right now. 11:45 to basically notify me that in about 15 to 20 minutes, my screens have to be turned off. And I need to be in bed with my Kindle, which is a screen, but it's not like I'm okay with a Kindle screen in bed. I'm not okay with my phone scrolling or the TV or my iPad. So I turn everything off except for my Kindle around midnight. And then from there, I'll get into bed with a book. Currently, I'm still working through the winter reading list. I'm not done. I'm reading Neon Gods, which was part of our winter reading list. And it's mid. I'm not really here for the BDSM content. That's just not for me personally. I don't know. It was giving 50 Shades a little bit, and 50 Shades was kind of like, you know? So I don't know. I don't know about all that. But anyways, winding down with my Kindle so that basically I can wake up and get up earlier in the day to go hit those workout classes in the morning. So I've been just having better boundaries because me and my homie that I play games with like most nights of the week, um, we are 3 hour time difference. And so if I stay up, it's very easy for me to be up until like 2 in the morning talking to her and love to do it, but I have to be having better boundaries with myself. So recently I started doing that. It's not easy. I will not lie. I'm definitely a person that loves to talk. And so having to put like the kibosh on that and be like, no, actually I have to sleep. Not the easiest thing in the world. Now with early mornings, I'm also working on getting up early to go to like 6 a.m. classes. Okay. So this is why I said midnight is a little too late for me for bed. I need to be like pushing it up. We're working on it. But getting up to do a 6 a.m. water aerobics class, ooh, Chile. That is, I think, how I'm going to do it. is like having an outside commitment that I've made is like I have to just push myself to do the most because no longer am I cool. And I haven't ever been cool. I'm a morning person. I am my best self when I'm awake early in the morning, and I know that about myself. So we are doing the early morning classes to get up in the morning. And I'm also working on my water intake. I feel like for the past like year, I used to be someone that I would drink 8 to 10 glasses of water a day. Okay. I'm a millennial. They taught us that we needed 8 glasses of water a day. All of us need emotional support water bottles. It's how we are. I feel like I have just been really flopping on that. And so I've started to insist. I have this thing, and maybe it will help you. Every time I like stop to go to the bathroom, to task switch, to go to another room, I make myself take 10 small sips of water from like I use a Stanley, you can use whatever, and I just fill it up twice in my day. 2 Stanleys, that's 80 ounces of water a day. A little more would be better, but I'm cool with 80 ounces. 80 ounces is enough. So 80 ounces of water a day. And just try that. Try it. And it's not like you're taking these big gulps 10 times. You can just take 10 really quick small sips. You will finish that water. I promise you. Just every time you go to task switch or like, I feel like with ADHD, it's kind of helpful to have like something in the middle of the switching. So I just try every single time I task switch to get more water in. So that I feel like is like my plan. Okay. That's my lock in. If you want to take any of those, take them, but do what's appropriate for your personal lock-in. I also want to give like a shameless self promo that if you need help devising a plan, if you're not good at this kind of stuff, let me help you. I'm somebody that's excellent at this kind of stuff. And I already designed a whole course that will help you do it. Okay. Authentically aligned. It's on my website, kloeetaylor.com. It's currently $55 if you use code Eclipse 2024. It's like an old code. It's currently on super sale. My website is being redesigned. I swear it's almost done. There's just been a few hiccups in the way. But once the website redesign launches, the price is going up from 55 to 97. So get it while it's cheaper. It's a 4-week course that takes you through like rebuilding your confidence and rebuilding your habits. And it also gives you the tools to carry it forward. So if you feel like you're somebody that's bad at like auditing where you want to be, designing things new for yourself, and then also having the tools, skills, and knowledge to actually build healthier habits moving forward, I'm your girl. Okay, authentically aligned. It will help you get aligned with yourself. It will help you lock in. So check that out. Link down below, kloeetaylor.com. It's called Authentically Aligned. Get it before it goes up. I want to just say this isn't about, I feel like when we hear the phrase lock in, it's like, oh, we're going to do this hard, rigorous thing now. Make it fun. Make it fun. I talk about this all the time on this podcast that if you have activities that you don't like, you have to find ways to make it joyous for yourself. So, like, for example, I always tell y'all that when I don't like to go get my car washed, I make it fun. I go to Starbucks, I get myself a little beverage, I find a playlist. You know, my favorite is the main character energy in a 2000s rom-com. I'll put that on. I'll blast it through the car wash and while I'm vacuuming out the car, you know? And I'll make it fun. I'll romanticize that with intention. You can do this with anything. If you want to get into working out, I wouldn't say commit to like getting a whole new wardrobe tomorrow, but maybe just like planning out what you're going to buy as you reward yourself. Make it fun, make it a game, okay? As an ADHD girly, I am the queen of gamifying my life. It's like how I get myself the dopamine to do anything. So gamify it, make it fun. It's supposed to be fun. Your life is supposed to be fun. You're not supposed to just be working and then dying, okay? Life is supposed to be fun. So find ways to make it intentionally a joyous experience, no matter what that looks like for you. So for me, for example, like for my financial planning, okay, my husband and I are saving for a trip that we're taking later this year. And we actually are putting like a graph up in our office that we get to color in with every $100 that we save towards that trip. So we can see how much we grow over time and have like a visual representation. So it's fun, right? As I was saying, plan out the outfits that you're going to buy, go and do a deep dive, make a Pinterest board, have a collage night with your friends, have a vision board night with your friends. When it comes to actually like executing on the workouts, right? On the days that it feels hard, plan out breakfast that you're going to have afterwards or before, something that will get you out of bed in the morning, right? Do something along those lines that's really going to get you feeling good about it. Because locking in doesn't mean being rigid, it means having intention behind what you're doing and then choosing to remain consistent while you follow your plan and not your mood, right? And in closing this episode, I just want to say to y'all that if you have something that you're getting into, if you're making a vision board, etc., come and join our Discord, okay? The Discord is the Cozy Babes Club Discord. The link is down below. This Discord, I'm currently giving it a master makeover. I just put a huge announcement in the announcement tab there talking about it because I want you to show me your vision board. I want you to show me what your hot girl summer looks like. I want you to show me what your lock-in looks like, okay? We're going to have a chat that is for springtime, the springtime lock-in. We're going to have a place where you can share those things. I will say that my Discord is more predominantly for women or like femme-focused people. I definitely feel like that's the energy I connect with the most, though I'm not trying to like throw men out the window. I will say I do feel like it's a little more female focused, so just know that. But come and join the Discord, talk with like-minded people that are into the same things. If you're on this vibe right now, like get in there, come and make some friends. If you don't know what Discord is, just come and check it out. It's literally just like a chat that has all of these different categories that you can talk about. I'm currently, like I said, working on an overhaul of it where we're going to be doing more seasonal based content in there, or not content, but like seasonal based topics that will be in there. And I'm just really looking forward to it. I'm going to be sharing all my recipes with you when I finally go shopping for all my hot girl outfits. I'm going to share them with you there. I've really been making an effort to like be more present there and actually chat with you all there. So check it out. There's also an exclusive chat if you join my Patreon that you get connected to that I also have plans for there. It's going to be like way more exciting. So definitely check everything out. If you want to support the making of this podcast, you already know, check out the Patreon at patreon.com/Kloee Taylor. You get exclusive content from me every single month. There's astrology, there's tarot, there's lifestyle. There's almost 500 posts that are already available to you when you join. You'll get access to all of those. So definitely check it out. It really does support the making of this podcast. And I'm currently trying to gain like 20 new members. Like that's my goal this month is I want to see 20 new members. So come and check it out. Join if it feels like, if you got a little extra and you want to support, just like come join. I think you can also gift memberships too now. Don't quote me on that. Working on it. She's a one-woman show. So when something happens, rest assured I'm probably the one that made it happen. Anyways, thank you so much for tuning in. I love you so much. Do not forget to follow your plan and not your mood. And I will talk to you again next week. Bye.